Okay, good morning. Vietnam. You guys remember that movie? Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham, and I'm going to have my both of my knees replaced at the same time. Okay, so I'm going. A lot of you know me, so it's kind of it gets kind of personal, right? Okay, but I'm Andy Lee Graham, and I'm preparing for both knee replacement surgeries. They call it a bilateral. That's what they call it, a bilateral knee replacement. Okay, I am over 65 years of age, and I'm growing my hair back, so this mohawk thing is kind of annoying. Okay, but I'll be growing it back. I was protesting about the medical people that are on YouTube not giving us after chemo recovery, and I did it to cut. I cut my hair off to be supportive of my sister that lost all her hair because of a cancer. Okay, but today I am over 65 years of age, and I'm going to have a bilateral knee replacement surgery here in the next 20 some days or next 30 days or something like that. I have what you call stage 4, final stage severe knee problem. Okay, I went through and I was looking at some prescriptions and it said stage 4 severe. Okay, and one of the things that came up when I was doing this, I went through a walk-in clinic and they asked me, what do you want to do? You want to get cortisone? You want to get shots? What do you want? And I said, tell me what to do. And he didn't really tell me what to do. And I finally opted on the most conservative thing and thought I would talk to the knee surgeon because I thought the knee surgeon would give me possible choices. Okay, well, when it came down to it, the knee surgeon was quite interesting. Very smart, intelligent man, looked me right in the eye, talked to me, listened. He never questioned whether I needed this, okay? That was kind of a bottom line. But what started this is I woke up in the tent. I've been sleeping in the tent like Henry David Thoreau, living on a lake. There's a lake here, and it's about 7:11, the a.m. in the morning, and the sun came up around 6:15, so about 45 minutes after sunrise on this lake, and I'm in the state of Indiana. But what happened is I woke up in the tent, and it's a stand-up tent where it's big enough you can stand up. I highly recommend, really what you want to get, if you get a tent, get a pop-up tent that's got the flaps on the outside of the windows, okay? Outside of the windows, not on the inside, because the flaps need to keep the water out. And I'm going to go into great detail on tents here. But I have a nice stand-up tent, but there's a table in there, my computers, and like 4 or 5 big plastic totes. And I stood up, and my legs were hurting, and that made it, it was dark. So I'm standing up in the tent. The ground's a little rough. I mean, it's not totally flat in the tent, right? But I'm on this plastic thing, and I was afraid to move. I was afraid I was going to fall through the side of the tent and rip it all down. And I sat there and I couldn't take it, okay? I said, this is ridiculous. I'm doing so many compromises, and I'm having to anticipate everything to do it. Okay, so one of the questions that the man asked me is, are you avoiding exercise and are you getting fat? And I go, well, that's about it. Okay, in a nutshell, I was avoiding many, many things. And I know in the back of my mind, I wanted to go do these things, but I made excuses or whatever subconsciously. I didn't want to do it because it would make my legs hurt. Okay, so that's what precipitated this. Maybe because I'm in a colder place, like I was in Carmel by the sea, and it was very cold there. Okay, and it's very cold here at night. It can get down to 50, 49 degrees, and this fluctuations in heat is something I don't really deal with as a world traveler. I've been to 114 countries, and I've been doing this for 26 plus years, and I'm normally in the tropics, which makes it maybe better for my body because of the heat. More heat, the tropics between 23.5 degrees above the equator to 23.5 degrees. I'm a tropics traveler, okay? But the pain made it good. I was worried I was going to go through it. Okay, so what are the big deals that I have to do right now? Okay, first of all, I'm going to go through what I'm doing to prepare for this surgery, and it's quite extensive. Okay, the biggest deals I'm going to do is stretch out super. I'm going to go to the YMCA, and I'm going to stretch out very, very good every day up to for the next 20 some days, so that when my body is super strained, I'm already totally stretched out. Now, it can take 20 days. I was a high jumper and a pole vaulter, and we used to sit around for 15, 20 minutes before we jumped. And actually, to do the Fosbury, which is a backwards flip over the thing, you have to be highly flexible, okay? And what happened was I would do stretches constantly for these thing, and it was kind of, you can't always be jumping all the time, so you got to take a break, and when you're not jumping, you're stretching. Okay, so I'm very aware on how to stretch. Okay, and a lot of people don't stretch, and I've been stretching all my life, but two different things. The big deals I had to deal with is I've got to give up coffee. Okay, and I decided today. I gave up coffee for a day, and I took a sinus medicine to get over the headache. And I'm only going to drink coffee in restaurants, which severely limits my amount of coffee, which is exactly what is okay. And the lady didn't, the one person that was talking to me, didn't act like I needed to give up coffee. Of course, she knows that's an addiction and trying to get people to give up coffee. Now, she did talk about my supplements, all the things I'm going to take. And I'm going to talk about all the ones I do it. But if you're going to have a bilateral, or you're going to have a knee replacement, you really should start taking notes, okay? If you can't take notes, don't want to take notes, never take notes, you're going to have a lot of problems because it's extremely step by step by step. This is a factory type process, and I guess in Fort Wayne, Indiana, they do 7,000 of them a year. That's 19 a day. Okay, I have Medicare with a supplement. I have a deductible about $20 a year. I'm hoping to get out of this with the least amount of expense, and so far, I'm doing really good. It appears that they will cover everything. I don't know what percentage is taken up by Medicare. I don't know what's taken up by my supplemental insurance. I don't know. But I have a person, Molly, that is very, very intelligent. That is the person I buy my insurance from, and I highly recommend her. My Patreon people, I got to be real careful here because I'm only going to tell the Patreon people almost all the details, right? If you want to be a Patreon and you want to bring up a topic, I will talk to you more one-on-one in a Zoom meeting or whatever, or by phone or whatever. But I am going to get a bilateral knee replacement, both knees at the same time. Stage 4 severe arthritis, known as end-stage osteoarthritis. It's the most advanced stage of osteoarthritis. I don't know why they're calling it arthritis. Arthritis is inflammation, but I mean, when they showed me the x-ray, there's a layer of installation, and there's a lot of reasons. They offered me cortisone, then they gave me some pills, but I guess if you take a cortisone shot, you got to be really careful because you're going to have to wait like 3 months to get this surgery. So I'm not sure. You ought to really make up your mind whether you're going to do it. But a lot of people are already taking tons of ibuprofen and all sorts of staying drunk all the time. There's a million ways to deal with pain, right? But ibuprofen, Aleve, and all these different medicines are bad for you. And I haven't taken those. Okay. He asked me, are you avoiding walking? Yes. Are you getting fatter? Yes. Hurts when you're in bed? Yes. Balance problems constantly. My sister said to me, she's had both of her knees done, and my brother's had both of his knees done. My mother had both of her knees done. The sister said, this is worse pain than 4 children. Okay. Maybe the most painful. A lot of people will say this type of surgery is the most painful. I have no clue. I do know that the minute that you get out of the surgery, and I talk specifically, many questions when I talk to the surgeon, the minute I'm out of the surgery, my legs are strong enough to walk on, my muscles are strong enough to walk on. It's the pain and the swelling and the abuse that happens to, it's not abuse, but the manipulation of the cut and the whole thing, that's the pain, okay? And they give me certain things for this, okay? They're going to give me some sort of water-cooled thing that you put on your legs, but both legs at the same time. Today I'm going to talk about how I'm preparing my blood and my immune system. Big deal. We're going to go through a system where my blood and my immune system's got to be at the peak. A timeline. I'm creating a timeline of this thing. That's why you have to write this down. I highly recommend everybody have a notebook or some sort of way of taking notes. Appointments. You're going to have a lot of appointments. I have an equipment. I got a list of equipment. I'm going to have a plastic tote, which is a big plastic thing. I don't know why they call them totes, but they're just a big plastic square box. I'm going to put everything in there from like today on. Okay, I did buy a certain, like a specific one for my supplements yesterday, and I'll put everything in one place. I call it the box theory. Everything's in one box, and it may not be organized in the box, but everything's in the box. I highly recommend you use the box theory of filing. Everything goes in a box. Okay, you're going to have folders for paper, so I got to get a folder for all the papers they give me. Then I got to start putting them in chronological order. I need an appointment book. I'm doing it different here. I'm using my computer, my daily food thing, but I have Google Docs on this. I will share with the Patreon people my notes here. I'm not going to share them with the public because the trolls and stuff are really amazing. Okay, you need to have a rewrite notebook. What does that mean? You write it out, and then you realize it's not in the right order. Then you got to rewrite it. Okay. So you got to maybe have one notebook, just these little small notebooks, and you take all the notes and then you rewrite them as into the proper order. And that rewriting is a learning process, okay? You got to store all in one location, and you got to bring with you every time you go to the doctor. I think you need absolutely everything that you're dealing with when you go to the doctor, because, you know, all these trips and back and forth can be really stressful. You're going to need a walker, I think. Okay, I'm not clear on the walker yet. They have walkers that have like a leg in the back and just a roll in the front. And then they have walkers with little handles that you can turn around and sit on. I'm probably going to get the one that you can turn around and sit on. They're only like $65 or $80 in Amazon, or I've bought multiple. I mean, I bought like 5 of them. The taller you are, the bigger the problem on buying these things. So somebody over my height, I don't know what the height is, but I think above about 5'8", you better start paying attention to how high it will go, because you want to be able to stand up and walk. You don't want to need to bend over and hold the handles. Okay, I'm going to need a walker, a cane, a pull strap for my leg, and I'm going to make this thing. I've been wanting to do it for years, but I'm going to put a thing that I can put on my foot that I can pull my leg back to my underneath. So you got to bend the leg back, right? So you sit on your back and you bend it back. And I'm going to make a thing, and I'm going to have a thing on the other end that the people can grab and help me, so we can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And because that is the movement that needs to happen, even though it's going to hurt a lot. And they want you to do that. While you're in surgery, they actually manipulate it and bend it all the way, okay? But there's callus and there's scar tissue inside my leg already. I broke my femur when I was about 22, 23. Then I broke my tibia a couple years. There's a lot of callus in my knee, and the kneecap on the left side doesn't move. They're going to do that leg first, and then they said if they had anesthesia problem, they would delay the second leg. But they said which leg first, right? So I got a leg that's been broken in 4 places and never had any plates on the inside, a little bit crooked. I got to figure out how to rehab. Where I'm going to rehab is very important. But there's different, I'm going to keep going on this rehab thing. I'm going to do a lot of rehab at home, in bed, all day long, every day. I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to go to the YMCA. They have a special machine that, they got a machine that you roll on, but the legs, okay, on a normal bike, you go quite a distance, like this. on this machine at the Y, you can go back and forth like this. It's got pull handles, and then I can just keep increasing the depth, right? And this is very important to me, that I have something that exercises the knee. See, what you do when you're stretching, if you keep moving, if I'm doing this exercise, I'm exercising my things. All these things I have to do before and after. I got to get very strong so the blood flows and all the things, and I got to lose weight. Okay. Surgery. The reason why you have stage 4 is extensive cartilage loss. There's basically no cartilage on the end of my femur and between my femur and my tibia. There's nothing. It's just it seems to be a layer of arthritis or something like that. It's bone on bone. Inside leg. It's on the inside of my legs. It's not on the outside of the leg. I'm not really sure on that. They're gonna do a complete thing. Severe joint space narrowing. So basically, this joint space becomes smaller between the distance. It should have a space like this, and it doesn't. Bone deformities. And this is interesting because the doctor said, I kept saying, my leg's getting more bow-legged, and I was blaming it on my femur, and he was blaming on the operation or the lack of operation and the crooked femur. And he says that it's pushing your leg out, and it's a deformity that's happening because of everything. So I think I'm going to have straighter legs after this is done. But the bow-legging started, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But the bow-legging, walking with the limp. I have some hip problems. I don't know what to say. They did take a lot of x-rays, and they took some hip. It's possible that he said I could get my leg extended back to full size with the hip replacement. Large bone spurs. I think those are just little hooks or something, I'm sure. Intense pain even at rest. Significant stiffness, for sure. I sit down and I stand up. Reduced mobility. That means that when somebody walks, like I was in Florida trying to walk with my friend, and he walked pretty fast. I kept up with him, but it hurt. I was up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The plane landed. They had only a 20-minute thing. I had about a mile to walk. I couldn't get to the thing in time because I went as fast as I can, and I couldn't walk for 2 days after. Okay, I missed the plane. I flew from San Francisco to the thing. So I had 20 pounds of backpack on my weight. I checked the bag. The check bag made it even in the rain, but I didn't. I had to stay in the airport in a hotel for the night with a bunch of finagling. But these kind of things are major problems because when I exerted myself and walked as fast as I cannot run. I could run when I don't know how many years after my thing, but probably for 15, 20 years after that, I could run, but very awkwardly because my left leg nerves are bruised. I don't know, they're broken in a way. And the only way I can run is to say push, push, push. The left leg is not an automatic thing. But I have inflammation, swelling and whatever in the knee joint. I don't have that much swelling as far as I know. Maybe it's swollen and I don't know it. Maybe it's always swollen. But it's I do a lot of lymph gland massages on my leg, my arms, and I highly recommend this lymph gland. It's like the way to get your brain to work good. The lymph is the debris system of the body, and you're going to have high blood pressure if you have lymph because you need to get rid of this stuff. Okay, but joint instability, and that's what I had in the tent. I couldn't trust it. I was going down steps in Colombia, and I couldn't trust my knees. So if I went straight down, like I learned the other day that they definitely don't want you to put your feet out. They don't want you to do the duck leg. They don't want you to pigeon-toed. But I would go down in Colombia. I was going down the hills pigeon-toed, or definitely climbing pigeon-toed, and I'd go down duck leg. And it made it a lot easier because the leg could not just break over. But it's very hard on the knees, and if you tripped or it really put too much strain on it, you could just like almost crack the leg, right? So what do they do? What is literally going to happen is kind of interesting because it's not what I thought it was. I thought they would. I did watch one video where they showed that they could do it. I thought they were going to put a joint inside there, and there was going to be go into the thing, and there'd just be a joint. No, that's not what they do. It's like the end of a chicken leg. They take the plate, they saw off the ends, they put a steel plate on one end, kind of plastic end on it. I have, for the Patreon members, I have a video playlist of how they do it, so you can actually see the things. They ask me, what medicines do I take? Okay, I don't take any medicines. Prescriptions, none. Okay, I think that encouraged him to do the bilateral because he realized that I was in severe pain and I really wasn't taking any ibuprofen. I was suffering with the pain without any of the thing. I think that encouraged him to do the bilateral. Why do I want to do the bilateral? It's because I can get it done. I don't have to live in the United States. I don't want to be here, okay? I want to leave and go to Africa or Colombia. Or I don't know. I might have to go to Colombia for a couple months, 2 or 3 months to, I'm not sure. I got a 6-month appointment. I got a 7-day appointment. Then I got like a, I don't know, 30-day appointment, then a 6-month appointment with the surgeon for follow-up. So I don't know what the insurance is going to do, but he asked, I was taking a tiny aspirin and I stopped taking it because they have problems with this for giving blood. I have no antibiotics in my system because I gave up sugar almost, 4 or 5 years ago. So I really got hardcore on the lack of, when you stop carbohydrates and sugar, you really don't get infections very often. So I highly recommend when somebody gets an infection, they go to a complete meat, nuts, seeds diet, vegetables. But the last time I had antibiotics, I think my biome is good. That's my stomach. See, there's all these, germs and bacteria and things working in my belly all the time. And I think it's all working pretty good right now. But when I broke my tibia, I'm sure they gave me some antibiotics. There's a person called a doctor's coordinator that calls me up after the surgeon. The surgeon just basically is going to do the work, and then you have these coordinators and nurses that do the support staff. At the date, she gave me a long list of things to do. All the dates of things happening, which is the timeline. You got to really get this timeline figured out, and you got to really get it into an appointment book, and you got to sit there and they give you a lot of things to do. But I'm sure they're going to check back and forth on this. You got one of the biggest deals is I have to choose where I'm going to have my rehab, and I don't know. One of the questions I don't know is if I can go to a rehab. Rehab center, and then do more rehab in a different place because I'd like to do it in 2 different places. I don't want to have to go drive as far. So, because the closer the rehab is, the easier it is to want to go do it. Plus, I guess for maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm not going to be able to drive. I think they recommend you don't drive for like 10 weeks. And of course, the doctors are always going to err on the side of caution, right? They're going to tell you the worst possible situations. But I got to go to rehab, and I got to do one before the thing. So I got a prescription all ready to go get rehab. So I'm trying to choose where to get this rehab done. Now, what I would do is go in and check out their equipment. I've been working out for 20-some years. I worked out every day for about 20 years when I was in the United States. And I was very upset when my mom went to one rehab center and they didn't have a way for her to lay down and exercise her ankles. I go, hey, her mobility issues, the reason why she falls is because she has no ankle strength, no side-to-side and thing. But I'll go check out the equipment, and I'm not really going to rely much on the rehab. I'm sure I'll learn a few things, but most of the time I think I know more than they do. I hate to say that, but I do. Okay, so I'm going to arrive there. I'm going to schedule it. I'm calling, and then I schedule the time. I learned the time the day before. 2 weeks before, I'm going to start dealing with these things. But 2 weeks before, I have to get off the supplements. That means that things like magnesium, I'll go through these, magnesium, ashwagandha, zinc, and I'm thinking they're meaning mostly the bottled ones, okay? There's supplements that are not in bottles, like hibiscus tea. Okay, I'm going to go to Fort Wayne, and I've got to go through a class. I got a class I got to attend, and then I got to go through a pre-op testing. So I'm going to have a EKG and a lot of things done. So the reason why I'm telling you is there's a lot of things to remember. But I go to the morning at 10:40, I go to the testing, and then at 1:30 or something, I have this class. I pick up a packet. I think what happened is the woman that did the kind of the discussion and scheduling of this and gave me the time, she set out a package of all this information and she put it in a thing. And I guess I could pick it up today if I wanted to. No, Monday. I would really like to have it as soon as possible. I don't really want to wait till the 17th. 7 days before the surgery, I need no inflammation medicine. That means, I guess, is it sounds like amoxicillin, but it's not. Amoxicillin or something. It was completely covered. It cost $40, and it was covered by my insurance completely. 5 days before, I got to start putting this antibiotic swabs in my nose. And I guess they sent that in, and I guess every day, twice a day, I put some antibiotics that go in through the skin of my nose. Really weird. It's going in through the skin of my nose, and I guess it's more bioavailable. I talk a lot about transdermal stuff because transdermal doesn't have to go through the stomach and passes through it. So I take cod liver oil on my skin, which is omega-3s, and I do this to keep my skin looking beautiful. Then I do this lymph massage. Okay, so 5 days before I start doing these nasal swabs. The day before, I have to go and call these people, and then I got to figure out the check-in. And at the day before, I have to stop eating at 10 p.m. the day before. I will probably stop eating at, I don't know. I don't think there's any advantage of having anything in my stomach, so I'll be eating a diet. I'm on a diet right now, so the diet's pretty restrictive. Nothing to eat before 10 p.m. I will stop at noon. Okay, and then I'll drink only water, no kind of, no coffee, no drinks at all. Okay, only water. The day of, I have to take and wash. I don't know why, but they gave me this stuff to wash my body the day before. I guess it's a whole body wash. It's a whole body wash, and then with this special, I don't know, kill everything stuff. I don't wash my body. Okay, I don't put anything on my body. I will do this with an exfoliation thing. Wash body, whole body. I better type this down. The day of, I'm going to have a phone list of everybody that I need to be able to call. I'm going to have my sisters know that their power of attorneys are close. I've added 2 of my sisters to the list of people that can ask questions of the doctor. I got to bring a complete list of my supplements, and I'm going to tell you all these supplements. I have to purchase these compression socks, and I'm hoping they're pretty long and they go up to my crotch. I hope they don't go just after my knee. I hope they go all the way up. I have to bring a walker, and I have to figure out where I'm going to park my car. And I'm going to keep adding to this list, right? This is a iteration list. I'm going to continually add to this as I think to. So this is not the comprehensive list of what will happen the day of, right? Afterwards, before and after, I can have no alcohol in the house. I'm going to talk to my sister. If I go to her house, I might be able to evade it completely, but I don't know. But no alcohol in the house. I don't want the actual pain to get so high. A lot of alcoholics don't want any kind of medical, like narcotics or anything like that. I'm not that way. It's about your intention. I've been sober for 37 years, and this is a big deal. And I know that I want to get off the narcotic type things like oxycodone and morphine and Demerol as quick as possible, Tylenol 3s. I'm going to have no alcohol in the house. I'm going to try to make sure my sister understands no sugar or carbohydrates. These things cause inflation. I will stay one night on a Monday night, and then I'll get out on a Tuesday. And she wants me, I'll get out on Tuesday, one day rest. Thursday, she wants me in rehab. They really want you to start bending that leg. The quicker you bend the leg, the more mobility it's going to have, because scar tissue will build up, and you got to do it. You got to bend the leg. Writing, the day that I get released, I guess only then can they write a prescription for me to go to a so I don't know if I can go into a rehab center for 5 or 6 days until that day. They decide on the spot whether or not, the day that they're releasing me, whether or not they can put me in a rehab. So this is I don't really like that. I'd really like it. I got to have both legs done. It's going to be very painful, and be nice to be in some controlled environments where I could get 24-hour help. Okay, I'm not going to be able to have 24-hour help with my family. So, and she says they go up to 20 days. I don't think I'll need 20 days. But my rehab program before, okay, so I'm going to join the YWCA. I got to stretch my knees. So I'm going to lay on my back and pull my legs as close. I lay on my back and pull them down, and I try to put weights on top of them and just slowly do it. You do a 30-inch stretch. There's a lot of science to stretching. I think I got the link here in this thing on how to stretch. There's 2 ways to stretch. You can kind of bounce it a little, bounce, boom, boom, pull, 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 pull. Or I do both of them, but if you can hold it for 30 seconds, a count at 30 seconds, it's a better one. I'm going to stretch my knees. I'm going to lay on cross my legs and spread them out like that. I'm going to do hurdle stretchers. I don't know if you know what those are. I'm going to stretch my ankles, because the ankles, the knees, and the hips all need things. From the hips, the hip joint, the knee joint, the thing. When you break a bone, what they do is they immobilize each joint on the inner. So I need to do the knee. I need to make sure the hips are really flexible, and the ankles are real flexible. And it's all. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stretches on the ankles. Normally I do ankle stretches in a doorway, and then I stand on the thing and let my things. But then I also lean up against a wall and I do different stretches. I'm going to use some elastic straps to wrap around my legs, which will help me to hold the positions of stretch. I'm going to invent one specifically. The bike, if I'm on a bike before, the bike will push up and down. It pushes the knee and it stretches the knee riding a bike, okay? I got a hot tub. I'm not really sure on the science of stretching, but I think when you heat up the body, it stretches better. Butterfly sitting, I'm going to bend over, stick my hands on the floor. I'm going to do all sorts of stretches for the core body and whatever. And I highly recommend the stretching part. This is a high priority, because what happens is with the stretching, it's my opinion as a really mechanical person, that the more it's stretched, the easier it is going to be to stretch afterwards. So if I can stretch extremely well before, I should be able to go instantly into stretching. So you can see that if you're really stiff and you get this thing done and then they try to bend your leg back, it didn't bend that way before. So you're not going to do it after. I have a link here for the Patreon members that shows how to do stretching. The rehab program after it is exactly the same. Same as before. I got to figure out whether the heat or the cold. I think on the stretches, see, we got 2 different things. We got swollen legs and problem legs, and then we have which needs to be cold to go down, to get the swelling to go down. But to make it stretch, we need heat. So there's kind of a contradiction here, right? I will have two daily visits to the YWCA. I think I'm supposed to have rehab twice a week. I don't see that as even slightly enough time. To do rehab, to do stretches, you need to do them every single day of the week. So this 2 times a week of rehab to me is kind of a bad thing. I want to know if I can wipe it down with hydrogen peroxide, and I want to know if I can get sun to it. Sun makes, in my opinion, they don't act like it, but the sun makes a scab happen faster, and it makes it heal faster, in my opinion. That all these things I'm talking about, you should okay with your doctor if you have time. To get air to a sore makes it heal. Of course, we want clean air, right? I'm going to have to talk to him about swimming. There's a place at the Y for me to swim, but I want to be able to bend over a lot. My tent that I'm in right now, I'm laughing. For me to live in my tent, I have to zip the thing shut. I have to bend over. I have all these clothespins, and it takes me about, 3 minutes of bending over to get this done. You should, when you're in the shower, be scrubbing your feet and bending over. Okay? You should be doing a lymph massage, in my opinion, in the shower for your whole life. I'm going to have a sauna in the tent before. I can get up to 120 degrees on the one side of my tent. It can be very fresh and cool on the other side. So I will take a sauna every day to get out the toxins. I'm going to stop and move because the sun's shining in my eye. Okay, so the sun's coming up and it's going to move and go over the top of this pavilion where I'm at. Okay, I'm going to go to the YMCA. I got this YWCA. I'm going to go figure out about the showers. I'm going to take hot, cold showers. This is hormesis. Hormesis is a very valuable thing. There's 100 ways to do hormesis that will make you live longer, okay? Study hormesis if you want to learn all the different things. But a very hot shower, a very cold shower, hot, cold shower makes the blood come to your skin. It makes your body revigorate and whatever. But I'm going to take a lot of hot showers, believing that a hot shower and we have a jacuzzi. Jacuzzi is a brand name, but a hot tub is at the YMCA, and I can go in there every day, twice a day, and get really limber. Because my goal is to get all my body just milksop weak. Okay, I want it so loose it's ridiculous. I want to be a loose person. Okay, so I'm going to stretch, but I'm going to do a sauna in the tent every day. I'm going to do which is get rid of the toxins and the plastics and the different things. I actually take a chelation thing, which is chelation is a chemical that goes in the body, and certain chemicals will bind with like copper or lead or different things that go in your mercury, and it will make it so that it'll leave the body. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these, but my diet before, my diet before this is very strict. I'm weighing in about 203 right now, which is technically about 28 pounds more than I am at optimal weight. I can get to 75 real easy. To get down to 65, I haven't really done that since I was age 16. But the diet before, I eat one type of protein a day, which is like, hazelnuts, walnuts, turkey, chicken, beef, chicken livers, bacon, almonds, and I'm sure there's more of them, but I'm going to get really clean food, okay, not processed. So I'm not going to have any kind of coated chicken or anything like that. And I'm pretty much going to have to cook this all myself because it's very hard to get in a restaurant. Even if I get eggs, which is a very good food, I can't get them in a restaurant because they're always cooked in vegetable oils, which are really bad for you. Okay, so I'm going to cook them in coconut oil, avocado oil, or olive oil. I'm going to cook them in coconut oil. That makes them taste okay. So I will get out my hot plate and I'll start cooking eggs every day, so I get protein. Eggs, and then I eat, maybe one or two little bit of things. I'm not going to be really strict like they say, but I'll eat enough to lose weight. Okay, and then I mix it up with cruciferous vegetables. Okay, I did find out that, one of the values of Dollar Tree is they have a lot of these nuts and stuff, and you can get a single person's level snack. Okay, for $1.25, you can get a snack of a lot of foods. Okay, and this is really good for a single person because, like, I can go to Rural King and buy these really good walnuts, but they're way too much. It's a pound of them. One of the values of Dollar Tree is they do have a lot of nuts and different things that you can get in one person portions. If you want just a one person portion of beef jerky, you can get it. Okay. I'm going to have problems. I cook with a crock pot, coconut oil. I have a stainless steel pan. I need a stainless steel thing. These Teflon things are full of plastics and stuff. I have a hot plate. Strangely, I find that I get too dehydrated. Well, strangely, I need salt. Okay, so I take a little smidgen of sea salt every day. I don't eat much salt. Okay, but don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't eaten any chips here in about 2 or 3 months. Very little bread in the last 2 or 3 months. But I'm going to have to start carrying, just because I want to get rid of the plastic. I realize I need to carry a stainless steel spoon and fork and knife in my backpack so that I don't have to use thing. I'm already carrying a glass in my backpack so that I can drink coffee or whatever I'm drinking without using the restroom stuff. The things that I'm going to, the cruciferous vegetables will be like lettuce, cabbage, parsley, spinach, celery. I guess celery is pretty good for things. And corn is not really a vegetable, and peas are not that good, so be real careful on vegetables. I'm really not sure what to do with the vitamin C. I'd like to get a lot more vitamin C, which is, what is that food that has it? Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's got a massive amount of vitamin C naturally, but I don't really like sauerkraut. I did see it for sale the other day in Walmart, but I might buy some and just try to gag it down. But the vitamin C in orange juice and pineapples and lemons and all this stuff, if you take it in the morning, you drink this in the morning, you're going to be hungry all day because it gives an insulin rush that makes you crave. So I won't eat any cereal or any kind of carbohydrates. I might take some vitamin C tablets, but it's hard to get it. The actual vitamin C that's blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I want to get some vitamin C. But I'm probably going to be, if I'm drinking orange juice at night, very hard to get natural orange juice. Everything's mixed up, okay? If I had a house, what I would be doing is I would be doing the press on all my stuff. But I would probably be doing a combination of pineapple. I would squeeze pineapple, lemons, and orange and mix it and take it only at night, so that by the time the morning's over, the insulin rush is over and my craving's gone. These are the supplements I'm taking now. I take a spoonful or two of flaxseed in the morning. I normally take whole flaxseed because it makes me have kind of diarrhea. Things go through faster and it doesn't get all digested out well. They want you to get it to digest. I'm not sure. I really want things to move faster through my body so I don't digest them. And I want the body to have something to chew on, okay? But I have ground flaxseed. I take a swig of vinegar because that helps on digesting. I take 2 spoonfuls of nutritional yeast, which has a lot of vitamin B. I think it's called MCT oil. It's coconut oil. I like to take a spoonful of coconut oil. I'm adding this, but my coconut oil is not getting solid. I like it when it's solid, right? If it's cool enough, it gets solid, or when it's too hot, it gets liquid. Turmeric with pepper, which is a very, very valuable thing for your system. Garlic. It's antibiotic, plus it does a lot of things for stress. I will tell you that one interesting thing, if you do a search for foods that naturally thin your blood, there's a lot of them, okay? And these are kind of the same things I'm taking. And so you got foods that relieve stress, foods that lower your blood pressure, and whatever. Now, the caveat here is the more you take, the lower your blood pressure is. You can actually lower your blood pressure by 20 points. It starts to get more difficult as an older man to have sex. I mean, because you're lowering the blood pressure. The Viagra and all these things are thing. But the one thing I do right now, and I even bought a thing special, is I bought a thing to put on my head to make it so that I can't breathe through my mouth, because I have broken my nose and I'm trying to figure out how to get the nostrils open. But I'm going to start breathing as much as I can when I'm conscious and not sleeping through my nose. And I hope this device I had, it's an anti-snoring, it's whatever, will help me to breathe mostly through my nose. So truly, breathing is a very good thing, and it gets nitric oxide in your blood, and it helps for the constriction of veins and things like that. But I take hot peppers. Okay, I found some in in Fort Wayne at the international thing, but I don't know where I'm going to buy it here. Cayenne pepper is kind of the same, but it's not the same. I usually take this. I take all these things. I've been taking them for years. Cinnamon. I have an addiction to cinnamon, so I have to be careful because I love to chew on those little things. I can eat the whole pack in a day, and I guess it's not that good. Hibiscus tea, Jamaica in Spanish. They have this in all these countries, but hibiscus tea is very good for lowering your blood pressure. So some of these things, like the turmeric, the garlic, the hot peppers, the cinnamon, but some of these things are in a bottle, right? I'm going to have to figure out how to get the synovial fluid to go to my legs. I'm going to try to get the fascia and the synovial fluid and everything about my body, lymph glands, optimized, right? So I've got magnesiums. I usually use this threonite. It's good for the brain. Minerals. I take mineral, trace mineral stuff, because the DNA replication needs this. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is a hormone, so you really need about 20,000 international units a day. Be real careful on this, though. It's better to go get the sun, and everybody's going to tell you not to get the sun, but I truly believe you ought to get the sun. But zinc, it would take me 3 hours of being in the sun to get enough vitamin D naturally. But they're always trying to sell you supplements, right? I take zinc, I take a chelation stuff, I take K2, I take D3 and K2 together. Really, vitamin D, when I review I have a playlist I collected of like all these famous guys, Eric Berg, Attia, and they all concur, Gundry, that vitamin D is very essential. I don't like the fact that they all want to recommend you take pills, but I really think that the chemicals on your body are causing the cancer. It has very little to do with the sun. It has more to do about the chemicals. Different drinks that I can drink besides coffee is ginger drink. I take some ginger and I put it in a glass and I shake it up. I got a bottle where I shake this stuff. It's a lot easier to mix it up if you don't have a blender. I don't have a blender. I'm not going to clean it. I don't have a dishwasher. I don't have any of that stuff. I just put it in a bottle and do it. And because I'm not sharing my germs with anybody, I'd sort of just leave it for 2 or 3 days. Ginger drink, orange juice, and hibiscus. What I need to buy, I have a list here of what I need to buy. So you're going to have this list of ongoing list. I normally have index cards, and when it gets to be high priority during the day, I have a different way. I have many different ways of going to do stuff. I take out a marker and I mark down 3 things every day that I need to go do. I carry it in my pocket, much smarter than a computer or a smartphone. Piece of paper, much more efficient. Okay, These are some to-do things I got in the bottom of this. You got things you're going to have to buy, and you got places to go. So there's 3 different things when you have a to-do list. It's like places to go. You have what to buy and what to do. Some of the things you'd probably do in your house. I got to adjust the car seat so that I can sit in it. Before I go to the hospital, when I park the car, I got to get it so that the legs are extended as far as possible, and I can try to get into the car with my legs almost straight. Okay, this could be very hard. I want to know whether the YMCA has internet, because I might have to take an Uber. It costs $16 to get there one way, so I need money. $16, and I don't think I don't think anybody's going to pick that up. So that's going to cost me, say, $30 a day just to go to the YWCA or the thing. But if I go twice a day, that's $60 a day. I got to figure this one out. I got to make a list of addresses to use for my Uber. I got to figure out whether I really want to buy data. I don't have data right now on my cell phone. So I want to know whether I should get data, because using an Uber all the time, you really need data. That data is the Wi-Fi over the cell phone towers, and that would allow me to have some freedom. There is a handicap service, I think, here. Some of these handicap services will come pick you up and take you around for a very thing, and some of it's paid for by insurance and some of it's not. And the problem with these is they're kind of an organizational headache. Every city's different on this, but I don't think there's any public transport here in the city, but maybe there is. I got to figure that out. Better put down a note here, public transport. I got a girl that does what do you call it, DoorDash for food delivery. I bet you I could get her to pick me up. Public transport. I got to buy all the food, right? What to buy? Food. I got to have all the food I need for at least probably 10 days. As best I can tell, most people are out and about doing stuff in 10 days. See, what you're doing is you get this done, and the bodies, they rip the leg apart, they cut off the end, they put this thing down the center of the leg. You got to watch these videos. And then they put this like titanium plate on one end, and then they put this plastic on the other end with a steel plate. So then it just creates a joint. It's not actually a joint replacement. It's just replacing the two things. If you look at a chicken leg, on the end, that little white gristle is kind of what this is about. We're replacing all that. Okay, I don't have any cartilage left on the end of my knee. Okay, places to go, to do. Is there a handicap? I gotta make sure everything's scheduled. I gotta get a timeline. So you gotta keep a timeline of what's happening. Equipment needed. I have a list of equipment I need. A walker, a cane. It's kind of weird. They don't care anything about crutches. Everybody stands up almost immediately. I need a tote from Rural King, a big one where I can put all my stuff in and I can carry it in the back of the car. A folder for hold papers, appointment book. I need my glasses to see in the tote. So I'm going to add to this. I need all clothing that I need. I'm going to have to be very compact. I'm not going to be able to walk around the house and grab all these things, and I don't want my sisters and brothers having to do anything, right? Underwear. I'm going to have this special leg stretcher that I'm going to make probably. Shoes, both of them. I have two types of shoes. I have sandals, and I have, I don't know how much my ankles are going to swell up. My shoes would be kind of tight if my ankles swelled up. I need a jacket, spoon, pepper, forks, knives, all my supplements, and some eggs. And then I eat all my vegetables raw. Okay, I don't really have any vegetables I eat cooked. Maybe beets. I eat radishes raw. I eat everything raw. And then these kind of protein foods like walnuts and pecans and almonds and turkey and chicken and beef. they're refrigerated, and then cooking them is going to be a little difficult, right? Natural pain relief. I have a really big playlist and thing on this thing of natural pain relief, and it's very big. Okay, I was trying to do this, and I finally just slowed down. I got the Amazon links here. These are some of the things that Rich is going to love. This one, CMB oil, the hemp oil, that's on the list. Holy basil, chiropractic for pain, an inversion table for pain. You get the blood flowing back and forth and do it, and the pain goes away. You don't have any blood movement, and you have pain. Bone broth, frankincense oil, wintergreen oil, ginger oil, hot, cold shower, alternating hot, cold, very, very hot, very, very cold, very, very hot. This relaxes you. Cryotherapy, that's where you actually go down to like 40 below. They were talking about it, my friends in this older men's club or whatever I go to on Tuesdays were talking about this. I was really surprised. Cryotherapy. They have it around here. Chili pepper, cayenne, it's got capsaicin. It's a chemical that is really highly recommended for pain. Turmeric, highly recommended for pain. You mix it with pepper, accentuates. So if you put pepper in it, boswellia, I don't know what that is. Sam E, I don't know that. Pine bark extract, mind flow salve. Dry needling. They're saying that you can put, I don't know what they're talking about, but you can put pressure points on different bodies. And then if you do research on pressure points, there's pressure points all over the body that will relieve stress. So obviously getting a massage would be a natural way of relieving pain. I used to have this one girlfriend in Africa that kneaded bread in the morning. She had the hands like, vices, and she'd give me a massage on my legs. It was really good. Acupuncture, infrared saunas, magnesium omega-3, that's your cod liver oil. But you can take pills. Turmeric, okay, that's a duplicate. American skull cap, these are all the natural ways to do it. I mean, you can just about get rid of everything if you took all these things. Gotu kola, valerian root, devil's claw, peppermint oil, lavender oil. Stress reduction. I believe that the best thing you could do is go be in an environment like this and move out of the city. The bigger the city, the bigger the stress. The more traffic. If you're on a 3-lane highway, 4-lane highway all the time, every day, you're not living a life of luxury. You're not wealthy. You're very poor in my world. Nature is a natural calming thing, okay? Nature, very few people can go walk in nature, like out here in the trees, without calming down. Doing the earthing where you walk around barefoot is incredibly good for the body. Earthing is the idea that I walk barefoot in the grass and the electrical chemical synapses are neutralized. And this is very, very good for you, okay? Because the body's a big electrical system, right? Deep breathing. So the way to breathe, though, is you want to breathe through your nose. I really recommend what you do is you try to do both ways. Just breathe in and out through your nose. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you got to be real careful. You might want to breathe fast. The faster you breathe, you're going to not have carbon dioxide. Is it carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide in your lungs. The carbon dioxide is a stimulant for you to breathe. So if you breathe too much, you get rid of this carbon dioxide and you hyperventilate. Okay, so you got to do it real slow. One lady said to breathe in deep, hold your breath for 4 seconds, exhale, and then exhale for 8 seconds. So in a way, I would probably say the ideal way is to breathe through your nose. Exhale. Be real careful. You can get dizzy on all this stuff. Sleep optimization. I really recommend that people get an inversion table. I recommend you lay on a table on a flat bed and have your head hang over, and then you roll over in the bed. If you can't roll over in your bed, you're in trouble. I just watched this old age test the other day, and they want you to put your shoes on. You stand on one foot, and you put your shoe on, put your sock on, put your shoe on, tie it, then put your foot down. Man, that'd be hard. I can stand on one leg and put my socks on. I don't know if I can stand on one leg and pick up the sock off the floor. Oh, that's what I'm hoping I can do afterwards. I'm working on the Olympics for the Centurion Olympics. What you could do when you're 30, you should be able to do when you're 60 or 80. Blood pressure. I got to work on my blood pressure. So all these supplements that I show are very good at optimizing your blood pressure. So I'm checking my blood pressure with a cuff thing like 4 or 5 times a day. And the SAD diet, Standard American Diet, has raised my weight by about 15 pounds. And each pound of weight, in a way, adds like 1 point to your upper level. You got your lower level, which is your standing weight, and then the upper level is your height. When you run, you can go all the way up to 220 on the thing. So these different things. But they say 120 over 80, but the American Family or whatever says 140 and over 90. Okay. Don't just get on blood pressure medicine because your doctor says it. You got to test yourself. I highly recommend that you test everything on your blood pressure and have one of these cuffs, and you'll get some feedback, right? And if you get some feedback and you log it in every day, you'll start realizing what raises your blood pressure. There's a leg extension machine at the Y that's very important. What I will encourage: make your leg straight. I'm gonna encourage the doctor. Okay. These are notes I'm going to have for. I want my legs bow-legged. I want him to focus on the fact that I want it straight. I want him to cut out the. He's got to focus on the idea that I have some past callus and scar tissue that is blocking my leg from bending. I want him to cut that all out and let me start over. Days in physical therapy in the hospital, probiotics. They're going to give me all this they're going to destroy all the biome in my gut. And some people say that the gut controls everything. And if they do that, what is it going to do? I need some probiotics afterwards to do it. I have some natural probiotics, but I would really, at this juncture, after this is done, I would like to get a prescription. Can I swim? I don't know when I can swim. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham. I've lived in 114 countries, and I've traveled nonstop for 26 years. I live anywhere and everywhere, and I'm in very good shape. But this is going to have a life-changing effect in my life. They're saying that this will last 20 years. Guess what? For every pound of weight that you have, you add another 4 pounds of pressure on your knee, something like that. So if you're 10 pounds overweight, it's like carrying a 40-pound weight. So right now, with my, say, 20 pounds overweight, I'm carrying 20 times 4. Golly, that's 80 pounds. I'm carrying an extra 80 pounds of pressure on my knees. No wonder my knees. I got I carry 60 pounds of backpack. Okay. It's about 45 on the back and 20 on the front. And I don't have a roller cart. There's a reason why my knees, but I'm going to try to get down to at least 185, maybe 180 here by the time this happens, by eating less than about 700 calories a day. And guess what? If you don't eat sugar or carbohydrates, you're really not hungry, okay? It's really very good. If you went on a complete carnivore diet, you can go lose weight real easy. But I would couple it up maybe with cruciferous vegetables. Some of you guys get really confused and think all these fruits and fruits are good for you. Fruits are really sugar-inducing. They make you hungry. If you're going to eat them at night. Okay, probiotics, can I swim? I'm Andy Lee Graham. My life is good. I'm not afraid of this. I'm very excited to do this because it's going to give me the ability to do my morning walk. I haven't been able to do my morning walk on a regular basis really since I broke my tibia maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And it's really disconcerting because it used to be I would just wander around endlessly and think, the world of a traveler is an explorer. I'm an explorer. I'm endlessly curious. You can see that I study all day. I'm a perpetual learner. I truly want everybody to realize that life is not, you don't learn something and stop. You're always continuously learning to become a smarter person. And then you adapt, and then you change. Okay, I hope that helps somebody. That's the goal here. When I make a video, I'm not putting all these editings on there. I'm not trying to maneuver you because that makes people happy, but they don't take notes. The goal is that you like what I'm saying and you take notes. If you really want to discuss these things with me, become a Patreon thing. It's on the screen, Patreon/Andy Lee Graham. If you search for me, you're going to find a bunch of trolls. It's kind of hilarious. These trolls, the more famous you are, the more trolls you have. And Google actually promotes the dopamine rush. I mean, Elon Musk was talking about it. It's kind of hilarious. They want everybody to argue because they make more money. The reason why I don't allow comments below my videos is because I don't want to give a forum where people can argue. If you want to really learn and do a deep dive, become a Patreon. You got $5, $25, $100, $500. And at the $100 level or $500, I'll actually stop in and visit you. Okay, I'm here and you're not. Why not? There's a reason why I've been to 114 countries and wore out my knees doing it. But I used to high jump, pole vault. I used to bale hay commercially for 8 summers of my life, lifting 60-pound bales of hay all day long, every day. I worked construction. I've been walking probably 2 miles a day for the last 26 years. But the weight, the minute that you get 1 pound overweight, so if you're 10 pounds overweight, it's like carrying a 40-pound weight. I'm 20 pounds overweight right now, so I'm carrying 80 pounds of weight. Plus, when I carry my backpack, I got another 60 pounds, so I got 140 pounds I'm carrying. I'm carrying basically my weight when I'm walking around as a traveler. Hey, think about it. Strategically lose weight. But the best way to lose weight is to go on a carnivore diet or all seeds and nuts diet and vegetables. No sugars. Starches, spaghetti, breads are bad for you. Or anything grains. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham. Live the good life. Join me.